Okay, welcome back. I think this is the last part of this section of tutorials on debits and credits. This should give you a really good idea of how debits and credits help us to record transactions in accounting. What I would like to do is I would like to do a little review and then show you how to get balances in these accounts, and I think we're good. So let's start with back in, I think it was like part 1, where we talked about transactions. Oops, sorry. So we talked about the type of transactions we're looking at in accounting and personal. We talked about the economic exchange. We talked about what they are. We talked about having to record all transactions in accounting. That really makes it very valuable. We talked about how to record these using T accounts, which is, the graphical representation of a general ledger account. I probably need to show you that, don't I? Okay, I'll do that. And then how we systematically record these transactions using debits and credits. Then I told you that we need rules to keep everything consistent and keep it standard. We need rules of debits and credits, and I showed you a tool to help you with your memorizing the debits and credits, and that was the after eating dinner, let's read comics. And I don't know, I guess I'm not going to get that all on there, am I? So, all right, let's take all this out. Let's read, got to get the right tool. Let's read comics, okay? And those were our rules, and it looks like a big, T account, and it has increase in here, which is a debit, decrease, which is a credit, and over here we have increase, which is a credit, and decrease, which is a debit, and those are our rules. And that after in the A is assets and expenses and draw, liabilities, revenue, and capital. Okay? All right, and those are the rules. Now, the reason why you need to memorize these is because the definition is a little funky. Remember the definition of a debit. No, I'm sorry, I can't do that. Sorry. Remember the definition of a debit is left side. Remember the definition of a credit is right side. Well, yeah, great. How am I supposed to understand this? Because I am not in favor of memorizing anything, math or physics or any class that you take. I am not a fan of memorizing this and then kind of regurgitating this on an exam. You really don't need to memorize anything. What you do need to do is you need to understand. If you understand the concepts of no matter what class you take, then memorization is not needed. And the beautiful part about this is that no matter what problem you get on the exam, you'll have the understanding to work it out completely. However, left side, right side is not giving me much. Okay, so because it's not giving you much, and I can't give you any more than that because that is the definition of debit and credit, we've got to submit to memorizing, all right? What I like to do is I like to put together flashcards to help memorize debits and credits because you really need to get past this. And if you can get past this with some sort of tool, and AED is good, the AED LRC thing is real good because you can do that on an exam. Write that down in the corner somewhere and go through increase, decrease, and that's great. But if you wanted further help in memorizing, you could do your flashcards. your 3x5 cards that you can get like a whole bunch of them, 99-cent store or something. And on the front, all right, on the front of the card, this is one card, by the way. This is one card, front and back. All right, on the front you put the name of the account, say cash. On the back side you go something like increase debit, decrease credit. You could even put like normal debit, okay? And then you got a bunch of these flashcards for a bunch of accounts. I don't know, do 100, and take the flashcards with you when you go shopping or something, and just run through them. And before you know it, it's going to be like your multiplication table, and you're gonna get these, and then you're going to be like miles ahead in accounting, because then you won't have to worry about debits and credits. You won't have to think about that. That'll be second nature, and then you can concentrate on the issues of accounting. Students get so hung up on debits and credits. That's why I'm spending a lot of time with this. So I'm hoping that this really helps you get through this. What I want to do now is I want to show you how to get balances in these accounts. So let's take a cash account, right? And we got a bunch of transactions in here. So we got, say, 1,000, 100, let's say 200, all right? And then maybe over here we've got, I don't care, 500, 300, 100, okay? So we got a bunch of debits and a bunch of credits, and that's not unusual, in any one of these accounts, for that matter. But I want to show you how to get a balance in these accounts, because that's real important too. And besides, that's the whole point of these accounts, so that we can get balances in these accounts. And once we get the balances in the account, guess what we get to do? And that's coming. We can build these beautiful financial reports that tell us all kind of stuff about our business and so on. Okay, here's how you do it. Look, to start with, and you won't need to do this after a while, but to start with, add up your debit column. So I got 1,001. So I got 1,300 here, right? Add up credit column. I got 900 here. All right, now look at this. I stay away from adding and subtracting, but at some point we got to bring this into it, and I think this is a good point to bring in. Except I'm going to say it just a little bit differently. Okay, look, we've got $1,300 worth of debits, $900 worth of credits. We've got more debits than credits by 400. So that is the balance in this account. All right? Let's do another one. Let's take accounts payable. All right? Remember, accounts payable, that's the liability account, and that's for our trade vendors. All right? So everything we buy for our operations and it's on account goes in this account here. Okay, so let's say we've got, 700, 600, 350, and over here maybe we have 200, 50, and 60. And I'm just putting 3 and 3, but just as an example. Certainly doesn't end up being that way, but just as an example. Okay, same thing. Add up the debit side in this case. Well, they're both debit sides. Add up. It doesn't matter. You can add up the debit side first, credit side first. It doesn't matter. You got to add up both sides. So it doesn't matter. So we got 250. So what's this? 310. All right. So we got 310 here, and 9 and what's that? 1650. Is that correct? Yeah, 1650, 250, 310. Now, look, I've got more credits than I do debits by, 1340? Is that right? I think that's right, 1340. So that's going to be my balance in this account at this point. Is that right? 60, yes. Okay, you want to do one more? I think I have time for one more. Let's do accounts receivable. And it doesn't matter which account. I'm just randomly picking. I'm randomly picking a bunch of accounts here, but it absolutely does not matter which account we're going to. I just want to show you the balances, how to get balances in these accounts. Let's take 1,500. Let's take 2,000. let's take 3,000, and let's take, I don't know, 1,000 over here. So add up your debit side. It doesn't matter, add up your credit side. You have to add up both sides, anyway. 5, what's that, 65? Okay. Again, I've got more debits than I do credits by $5,500, and so that is my balance in this account. All right, I am going to do more tutorials, so I will see you next time. Bye now.